Hola gente, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Bienvenidos a Pelas y Series. Yo soy Pancho de Pierola y acá en Pelas y Series hablamos de películas, series y hasta documentales que ustedes pueden encontrar en las plataformas de streaming más populares para que vean en la comodidad de su casa con la gente que ustedes quieran. Bueno, hace unas semanas se estrenó en la plataforma de streaming Netflix una película de zombies que se llama El Ejército de los Muertos. Esta película es dirigida por Zack Snyder y pudimos entrevistarlo, seguramente ya vieron la entrevista, pero ahora vamos a ver la entrevista al protagonista de la película, que es nada más y nada menos que Dave Bautista. Vamos a ver la entrevista.
Hello, Dave Bautista. It is a pleasure to meet you, sir. Thank you kindly for this opportunity.
Yeah, no, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
First of all, congratulations on this movie. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Got action, zombies, super zombies. It's got money heist. It's really fun to watch in so many different ways.
Yeah.
So my first question to you is, were you a big fan of zombies before this movie?
Oh, absolutely. I've been, I've been an enormous fan of The Walking Dead for years and years. So much as I actually called Jeffrey Dean Morgan when he was cast as Negan. I was like, because he's a buddy of mine. We worked together in the past, and I called him, and I was like, oh, I'm so jealous of you right now. I'm so happy for you, but at the same time, I'm so jealous. But no, I'm just, I love it. I love the genre. I love everything about it. And this is, I love the opportunity of working on this film because it just has a whole different twist on the genre.
Yeah.
It's, and I steal this from Zach, and I always give him credit for it, but it's really, he said he wanted to deconstruct the genre, which I feel like he was successful in doing.
Yes, definitely.
It's not what you've seen before. It's something new, and it took a twist, which is hard to do on any genre that's so established. But he just took it, and he did something different with it, and just gave it, a lot of heart and a fun story, and made it very entertaining. And at the same time, did all that without being overly gory. We don't rely on gore. That's not our, we didn't take the cheap way out, because, that would be the cheap way out. You can treat people with that. In zombie film, a lot of gratuitous flesh eating, but there's not that. We took the zombies themselves and made them more interesting. We took the story and made it, different. We took some emotions and we added in a little bit of, a few political elements to it. Yeah. And we kind of wrapped it up with a really, really strong ending that makes people just want more from this universe. So I think do you think fans will see more of the Army of the Dead? Because, as you said, you watch the movie and you want to still watch. You want to know what's going to happen, Yeah. Well, they'll definitely see more. And I think that was something that was always kind of the goal. And I think they knew that, Netflix knew it, Zach knew it right off the bat, because it was such an interesting, take on this, that it would, this would be successful as a universe. So they'll be able to see more. There'll be a prequel, and there'll be some animated Army of the Dead, and it'll be a whole universe. It will be successful because, and I'm saying this as a fan, at the end of this film, I just want to see more. They just they just leave you wanting more. And it's just interesting, and it's new, and it's fresh, and it's fun, and it's entertaining. Great. So yeah.
So you say you are a huge fans of zombies since you began to watch The Walking Dead. Now with this experience, do you think if there was ever a zombie outbreak, do you think you are more prepared to fight the zombies?
I don't know if I'm more prepared, but I think it's. If I was prepared, it would be because I am asking myself the questions of what I would need to do to be prepared. Because in a lot of ways, I was already prepared, just without even thinking much about it. But now I think about stuff like water. Where would I access fresh water, drinking water? Where would I get water from? Or fuel. I have a huge generator, and I've always thought, in a lightning storm, thunderstorm, hurricane, I'm going to be okay because I've got a 1,000-gallon tank generator. But in a zombie apocalypse, eventually that fuel will run out. Where am I going to get more fuel? so you start to ask yourself questions like that. No, I think in that case I would be a little more prepared. But otherwise I think I'm pretty set. I'm pretty prepped already.
You're prepared. That's cool.
Yeah,
so you mentioned this movie also has a take on the political things that's happening right now.
Yeah.
Do you think it was intended for Zach to make this movie before the pandemic, or was it intended to be released during?
Well, obviously, when he wrote this film, came up with the idea, and who would have thought in a million years that we had a pandemic right around the corner? Yeah. I think that is complete coincidence and the worst sense of the word. But I think there was a few other messages that are just very much political, that were current with the times that we were living in, and really kind of the division and the abuse of political power. I think if you look into those messages, and they're very underlying in this film. They're not blatant, they're not in your face, and they're not meant to leave anybody out. But I think there are messages that are worth looking into and discussing. But I don't think that's what the base of this film is. It's not the core of this film, but I like that they're there, and I like that if people notice them, that they might
several genres of the same movie.
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting mark of a director when he adds something interesting like that into it. If you look at all the, go back, and people are still to this day just dissecting Stanley Kubrick's films, because there's just so much stuff that's in there that you have to question and think, and what was he thinking, and what was he like, and they just completely tear these films apart. But I like that when there's interesting things like that, little, Easter eggs, things for you to talk about, things for you to discover that are, just not right there in your face.
Yeah. In your case, you also, you not only see Dave Bautista, the badass, you also see Dave Bautista, the caring, emotional father. So it's also maybe a different take to what fans are used to see about you. What can you tell us about your character?
Yeah, and that was the thing that really appealed to me in this film, because I really at the time I wasn't really seeking action films. I didn't really have that desire. I think anybody who's listened to me bitch for 10 minutes knows that I really have a chip on my shoulder to prove myself as an actor, and also to become a better actor. And I can't become a better actor unless I'm getting better roles. And so it's like, it's really a hard place to be in for someone like myself, who people naturally want to just cast me, as action heroes, or villains in action hero films. But it's what was appealing to me, and it's what I loved, that Zach actually saw this in me. He wanted me for this lead because he knew this character needed to be able to portray, all these different layers of emotions. And I love that he trusted me to play Scott Ward. And he said he was, was the first guy he thought of. And I love that. And it meant
that's great.
So, yeah, I signed up immediately.
Yeah. What was it like to work with Zack Snyder?
Yeah, it was great. But I had, I'd kind of developed a relationship with Zach years before, because I wanted to work with him. First, because I was a fan. But then after meeting with him, he talked to me about this project he had that was just so great, and it was just so deep, and it was really an actor's piece that was kind of disguised as an action film, and even much deeper than Scott Ward and Army of the Dead. This guy was like just a deep, tortured soul. And so that was what I had pursued with Zach for years, and we just couldn't get it made. And so when Army of the Dead came up, I wasn't super interested until I read the script, until I talked to Zach. And then with working with him was really getting a whole different take, because I knew him. I kind of had a good sense of who Zach was. I was familiar with his films. I was a fan of his films, but I really didn't or couldn't appreciate him as an artist until I witnessed his process, until I witnessed him work, until I witnessed him see things, pick up a camera and shoot them, because that's, it's completely different. It's like different when you look at an artist's painting, but it's completely different. You get a different view of it when you watch them paint it, when you see him go through the process of painting it. So that was kind of the thing with, I got him I got the opportunity to witness him, painting, so to speak. But it was really interesting. I learned a lot from it, and now, I'll take from that. And now, I'll pay homage to him somewhere down the line when I'm directing a film. But it was really an educational experience for me, and I love and respect him more as a person after working with him as well, because I see how hard he works. Like, that dude works hard. Like, he is so invested in his projects, and I think everybody appreciates that about him. Like, when I hear people talk about Zach, it's always those similar, sentiments.
That's fine.
Thank you so much.
That was probably me rambling. Thank you.
No, don't worry.
Esa fue la entrevista a Dave Bautista, el protagonista de la nueva película de Zack Snyder que pueden encontrar en Netflix. La película se llama El Ejército de los Muertos. Eso fue todo por ahora. Nos vemos la próxima semana acá en Pelas y Series.